Hello and welcome to the Long Island Weather Update. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. It's March the 17th, and we had a pretty decent day out there today. Very warm, partial sunshine. Wasn't completely clear. We had a mix of some high clouds and some stratocumulus clouds. It's all from this system that's kind of skirting by to the south that we got right now, showing what the sky looked like out there. First of all, I want to point out that yeah, we have some blossoms blooming already. They're a month early. That tells you how wrong things are. So those are what the sky looked like today. A mix of cirrus, some cumulus. At times it was pretty. At times we had a lot of contrails, but other than that, it was still a pretty nice day out there. Very warm and got into the 60s. Yeah, this is actually Hewlett. What is this? Grant Park in Hewlett. I was in Hewlett today on the South Shore. Because you got to be on the South Shore if you want to go somewhere where you're going to be happy. And this later is Wantagh by Twin Lakes. Very beautiful dusk there. You can see again those stratocumulus clouds there. Let's talk about what's going on with the weather because it was a very warm day today. We'll first start off with the climate statistics. So it got all the way up to 63 degrees at Islip today. That's 15 degrees above normal for the high. Low 46 was 14 degrees above normal. That gives us an average of 55. That's 15 degrees above normal. Central Park got up to 63 as well. So they're running about 14 degrees above normal for the day as well. Now, I will talk about yesterday, which was cooler. The reason why it was warmer today was because, again, we had no sea breeze. Yesterday, we had a southeast wind, so high was only 55, but that's still 7 degrees above normal. Yeah, it's now if you went inland, more inland, it was warmer yesterday. 64 at Newark. Newark made it up to 60. Actually, no, that's today. Let's go to yesterday's. So it made it up to 62 in Newark. So Jersey was still a little warmer, but then they were running about 12 degrees above normal. As far as the month goes, preliminary monthly data, I usually don't show this so much, but I'm showing it now because we're now running 9.7 degrees above normal at Islip, close to 10 degrees above normal for the month, which is pretty crazy. All right. That's pretty crazy. So looking at the weather map right now, you can see, yeah, we've got a little system wide to the south. We got a couple of lows over there. And we have a look that colder air is going to be coming in the picture and putting it into these above normal temperatures that we've been having for much of the month. It's been absolutely ridiculous, the warmth that we've been having. You can see they are already issuing frost and freeze warnings for the south because of the cold air that's going to be coming back into the picture. It won't be Arctic air, but it'll be cold. Colder than what we've been having, that's for sure. It's still warm out there, 50 degrees at Islip right now. North wind, that's no sea breeze today. Dew point is 34, so not super dry air, but dry nonetheless. And again, very warm today. We had breezy conditions as well with the northwest wind, so no sea breeze anywhere today. You can see we made it to the 60s at Islip. We were in the 60s for much of the day today. And you compare it to yesterday, the 16th, you'll see that yesterday we were a lot cooler with those south winds that we had, only in the mid-50s and pretty breezy as well. So, yeah, definitely when they have that wind off the land, it's warmer when you don't have a cold air mass in place. So let's go look at our highs for the day, and you'll see here temperatures made it up into the low to mid-60s in much of the area today. 63 was the number at a lot of climate sites on Long Island. Only the Forks were in the 50s. Again, even with the northwest wind, it goes over the Long Island Sound, and they have a cooling effect because of that. Mid-60s in Jersey as well, 66 in Toms River. So even a little bit warmer there, even though they had a west wind, it still managed to get warmer there. Looking at the lows, mid-40s generally, so that's well above what we're supposed to see for this time of the year. So let's go take a look at our current temperatures. I'm going to actually put temperature on the map, air temperature, just air temperature. I'm going to kind of show you the colder air that's going to be coming into the picture. So if you look to the north and west, over western New York, you have 30s. And we go into Wisconsin, you have 20s. This isn't all that cold. This isn't Arctic air, but North Dakota's down into the teens. So you can see where the colder air is coming from. It's definitely coming from Canada. You can see even colder air way up in Canada. We're not going to get into that Arctic air, but it will definitely turn a lot colder than what we've been dealing with. So let's go to the models now, and we'll start off with the you could see the look here on the surface. First of all, you could see that colder air is going to be coming into the picture. But let's go and to the North American view here first and look at the jet stream. And I'll show you what's happening. So we still kind of have a fire hose jet there in the Pacific right now. But you'll see it starts changing a little bit as we head into the latter part of the month. And you see troughiness in the east again. So that's going to help bring in some colder air into the picture. Again, this is the 18Z GFS that we are looking at. So you can see that colder air will be coming into the picture. And we will see there are still, it's intermittent. There will be ridges in between. But there will be a little bit of a die down of that fire hose jet that we've been having for so long. Looking at the European model, the 12Z run of the European, you'll see the European also shows that as well. So you see that difference right there, all right, in the pattern that we are going to have. So let's go to the upper air 500, and you'll see here, this is the current, again, setup that we've had with the ridge, but here comes the trough coming down. That's going to bring in the colder air from Monday and Tuesday. Though, again, there's no real Arctic connection here. It's just Canadian air, but it will bring in some much, colder weather, more seasonal for the March. And you can definitely see some powerful troughs there. But then look what happens as we get toward the end of the period. The ridge comes right back again. So it really won't be a very long period of below normal temperatures. Probably will be transient like everything this winter has been, especially because we don't really have really good blocking in Greenland. So we're not going to see that. Let's go to the European model here. See if the European shows any differences here. This is the European model. Yep, same deal as we get toward the end of the period. There is the European AIFS, which is the AI version of the European. But the AI is a little more interesting to look at here. But we're gonna go look at the temperature anomaly charts here. I'm gonna bring this down to the CONUS view, and we'll keep it on the European side of things, so you get to see what happens here. So here's the cooler air that comes into the picture. And you'll see, especially as we get toward the weekend to next week, you'll see some of that colder air coming into the picture, but then, boom, it's gone. Well, no, it's still around, actually. This is the AI model. So the AI model seems to think it's going to stay around for a little bit longer than the operational run. So I think if we look at the operational, which isn't going to go as far out, let's see. Yeah, it brings the warmth back. So the AI run seems to be a little more encouraging versus the operational. GFS, on the other hand, brings the colder air in. You see the below normal temperatures. We got down to near normal starting at the beginning of this week, then below normal temperatures, and you can see definitely some purples in there, which is some really cold air. So we will have some colder weather to come, but you'll see intermixed because we don't really have a strong block. It'll stay cold. It'll be cold for a couple of days, and then it gets warm again. So let's go look at the surface now. Talk about this week that we got coming up here, because the good news is we're not going to see any rain. It's going to be dry. So the northwest flow starts tomorrow. We start getting to that colder weather. Here we are into Tuesday. Here comes like a little clipper system. Going to reinforce cold air for Thursday. And then for Friday, the weekend, this is the system that we'd have to watch. The next system, and then, it would bring rain on sometime Saturday. This coastal storm right here. And the models have been kind of all over the place. See, it looks a little different on this run than it does on this run. So we're going to have to watch for the chance. That'll be our next chance of rain. Right now, that's what it looks like, because there's no real... You need Arctic air to get a snowstorm at this time of the year, and there isn't any Arctic air. After that, though, we have high pressure built in, and then another front sort of comes through, and then there's another system here. And then, we start getting into that parade of systems deal again as we got to the end of the month. At least that's what the GFS is thinking. Let's go to the European model next. All right, so this is the European model. Do the 12Z operational. Pretty much in agreement here with what's going to be happening through the week. And here comes the weekend system, though. All right. So the European is a very weird setup. It's got a really strong high there, and actually cuts the system off over the southeast and kind of just has it sitting there off the southeast coast, which is kind of weird. Let's see if the AIFS is doing that as well. Let's see if the AI is doing. The AI has a different look to it, though. But, yeah, you can see it kind of has it getting suppressed to the south. And that's what the GFS was showing. Now it's going back on it, but we'll have to see what happens. But either way, there will be a couple of storms, but you can see the tracks of these storms are not going to be favorable for any major snows. But at least we'll get some colder weather in here, at least. It may not be enough to stop this month from being the warmest March on record, however. That's yet to see. So now that you have a look at the long range, and actually, let's go to the CPC. We'll do that for now. So 6 to 10 day, you can see they still have us in the above normal, with above normal precipitation as well. This is the March 23rd through March 27th. Well above normal in the lakes. Best chances in the lakes and southwest. But it has much of the country above normal precipitation and above normal temperatures in the east and only below normal out west. And it does the same thing on the 8 to 14 day. It doesn't really get any of the cold in here at all. 25 to 31, we're still dealing with above normal temperatures. This is what the CPC is thinking. CPC. So not really, and above normal precipitation as well. So they basically want to do what's been happening all winter long, which is bring that subtropical jet back into the picture. I don't know what model they're looking at, because that's not what I'm seeing on the models that I see. I see a transient type of cold, but I still think it should be closer to near normal, and I think the odds above normal are shrinking. So I don't know what they're thinking. I'd love to know what model they're actually looking at, because I'm not seeing it here. Anyway, let's go to the short-range models now. HRRR, not going to see much in the way of precipitation here. You'll see here. There are some upstate, you'll see there could be some lake effect. It actually is popping a couple of, maybe a sprinkle, really nothing tomorrow. Anything that will develop will just be clouds. And you'll see here's Tuesday. It actually brings some snow flurries upstate. Tuesday we may see more clouds than Monday. But I have a feeling we're going to be dealing with some clouds because of the instability in the air mass. So let's go to the 17Z here and take a sounding here. I'll look at a sounding on the HRRR, and this will kind of show us the kind of atmosphere that we're dealing with here for tomorrow as we wait for it to load. All right, they are apart. So this is 17Z. It does show them apart at 17Z tomorrow. That's like that's like the afternoon, all right? If we go to the morning, like 15, or this is late morning, actually. Let's see what we got here. They are apart, so that's good. That is showing that there could be a decent amount of sunshine tomorrow. Let's now move this a little along to the afternoon, because I have a feeling the clouds increase as we get toward the afternoon. Let's see. It's showing, yeah, that's where it's showing some touching. So that's what it looks like. It looks more clouds toward later in the afternoon, more sun in the morning for tomorrow. Let's go to our dew points and wind flow. I'm going to show you how all this changes. So the winds turn back to the northwest tomorrow. It won't be that windy, but we'll have a northwest to west wind. And you'll see the dew points drop there. And then, again, relatively low dew points again for your Tuesday. So it's this Canadian air that we're getting, no Arctic air. So tonight, temperatures will probably drop to around 40 degrees. Won't be that cold. Tomorrow, though, will be cooler than today. We're only going to probably be in the low to mid 50s for tomorrow, because we're going to be in the colder air. Colder air is going to come on in. At least that's the HRRR. Of course, we thought today was going to turn out to be in the 50s, and it turned out to be could overperform tomorrow too, because that's been happening a lot lately. The models just can't handle all the extra warmth in the atmosphere. And then for tomorrow night, that's when we'll be a lot colder. We're going to get down to around freezing tomorrow night, I think. And if the winds drop and we have clear skies, it could be even colder in the Pine Barrens. And then as we get into Tuesday is going to be even colder. We're only going to be in the 40s on Tuesday. So mid-40s probably, I think. It's going to be even colder. At least this is what the HRRR is showing. Let's go to the GFS next. And, yeah, I mean, they're pretty much in agreement here. They'll have mid-40s. So Tuesday is going to wind up being at or a little bit below normal temperature-wise, I think. But this is the GFS here. Now, going further along here, looking at the GFS, You'll see that the winds do turn to the south a little ahead of another front on Wednesday, and then here comes the next front. This is the colder air that's going to come in for Thursday. Now we're getting some decent air here. Northwest winds, dew points in the single digits, and the air temperatures are going to drop into we'll still have highs in the 40s, probably low to mid 40s, but we will be below normal on Thursday for our temperatures. And then as we move this along, you'll see it kind of lifts out relatively quickly. Here we are Friday, back dealing with south winds again, and then we have to watch that next system again for the weekend. But you'll see it's too warm for snow that we will have. It'll be just because the cold air just pulls out as that system moves in. If that cold air could sit around a little longer, we could have snow, but there's no blocking to hold it in place. And then that system you can see the reflection of that system there, and then behind that system, more cold air for Sunday. You can see northwest winds there, but then it lifts out again, and then we go into Tuesday, and it lifts out again. So you can see what happens here. It's kind of transitory. But then after that, it really doesn't show any cold air at all. It shows a big warm-up is what it shows. So now that we looked at the dew point, let's go with the temperatures here. It's a good reflection of where the air mass is coming from, that second air mass we're getting on Thursday is going to come more from deeper in Canada, but still, I think, a polar air mass, not an Arctic air mass. So we will drop below freezing, though, probably Friday morning, probably into the 20s. And then it's showing much warmer conditions. It's showing much warmer conditions over New Jersey, probably due to the south wind over the land, whereas Long Island would probably be in the 40s. Jersey could get into the 50s, and then kind of a nasty day on Saturday if this turns out to be a rainy day with temperatures only in the 40s. And then behind that system, we're going to see the temperatures drop again on Sunday to the mid-40s for highs and lows around freezing at night. But then you can see it bounces right back up again here on the GFS. All right, and you can see that bounce back. All right, now let's go and look at how warm it gets toward the end too. So let's now go to the European AIFS. So we're going to use the AIFS run. The reason why I'm only using the AIFS, it goes out further. All right, so we can get an idea. I don't think this gives us it does give us the dew point. All right, so we can look at the dew points and wind flow on the AI as well. All right, so it looks a little different. All right, but you can see that colder air coming in for Thursday there. All right, the Euro doesn't want to lift it out as fast. All right, it keeps it around, but because of that system is pushed further to the south for Friday into Saturday, and you can see that the European, though, this is the AI here. If this were to happen, areas to the north and west of the city could see snow. You see where that dew point line is, all right? If we look at the actual air temperatures here, actually, no, not air temperatures. Let's go to this. Here's the 540 line. So you see it right there. So someone could see snow from that system, and the European definitely is more your friend if you want to if you want to see more areas get snow with this. All right, whenever that pulls out, and then we have Sunday, you can see the northeasterly winds taking over behind that system there. The air mass stays kind of cool, and then as we get into the next day, there's another warm wave, but then it tries to bring in some colder air again. So this is the European. So that's why I just don't see how temperatures are going to be that much above normal, considering we're going to have. So look at how cold the AI is. So let's go look at the AI, because I love the AI. Of course, I wish this would verify. Look at that. It would only keep us in the 30s, perhaps, on Thursday. I wish. I don't think that's going to happen. But Friday, you can see, though, with the clouds coming in, we could be a pretty cold day across the area. With that rain developing, cold rain, or maybe even a little snow in there. So, the Euro's bullish on the snow. But you can see here, not really, and then it does warm it right back up again. You can see it warming back up again. So, yeah, I could see where they're getting at the above normal, but there will be some cold days in there, I think. So, we'll have a taste of some winter here or there. But anyway, let's go back to the GFS model here and look at, obviously, we get closer to the storm next week. We'll talk more about it, but it's just too far away to, speculate on what's going to happen on that Saturday storm right now. So looking at the GFS model here, Monday, looking at GFS, this is at 18Z, so it's tomorrow. Yeah, you can see it does have a cloud deck. The GFS definitely shows that. Unfortunately, it does the same thing on Tuesday as well. It shows it being pretty cloudy, and then Wednesday as well. Yep, it's not until we get to Thursday that we see the cloud deck. You see the whole atmosphere column dry. So I'll show you the cloud output now. Backing up to tomorrow, you can see a good deal of clouds. It's more sun earlier on, I think. More clouds for the afternoon, and then for Tuesday, we'll start off again. Same thing, sun in the morning, and then a lot more clouds probably toward the afternoon. Wednesday we'll have more clouds, and then Thursday, that's when our mostly sunny day will be. And then as we get toward the weekend, next system obviously Thursday, Saturday keeps it kind of cloudy, but maybe Sunday we would clear out again. So let's look at the RGEM model. So next cloud model we'll look at for tomorrow. You can see again it shows a lot of clouds in the morning. Then it shows them clearing out. Actually, shows them clearing out, and then we got more clouds redeveloping in the afternoon. So these clouds look like high clouds in the morning, high mid clouds, and we got that maybe sunny period, and then toward the afternoon we have another cloud buildup happening. And then as we get into Tuesday, again, same deal. We'll start off with sunshine, then we have more clouds kind of building in toward the afternoon again. And then for Wednesday, showing again, same deal again. Maybe a little bright. I think there'll be a decent amount of clouds. It's not really until Thursday, I think, that we'll have that nice, really clear, crisp day that we've been waiting for so long to have, and it's such a rarity now in these days to have them. So I think that's going to wrap up this Long Island weather update. Thank you for watching. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and at least we're not going to get any rain all week, so enjoy the dry period that we have, because I think rain will probably be back in the picture on Saturday, and maybe for some people in the Northeast, maybe some snow too. So it's just too early to speculate right now, though. So thank you for watching, and have a good night.